Thank you very much. Hey, thank you for being here. I'm very honored that you chose to come. I kept advertising this and begging people to come based on the fact that this is very special music to me. And the reason it's special is not because I wrote it, but it's because this is the style of music that made me want to become a musician. It was the music of Chuck Mangione and Art Farmer and Earl Klugh that were doing these albums that were like Latin and Brazilian and Italian melodies and all this just beautiful music. And so I always wanted to do that. And I've always done a little bit of it, but I've never been able to do it all in one night. And so that's what this is all about for me. So thank you for being here. And I'm truly honored to have all these guys on the stage with me. And so I'm just going to reintroduce them. That is Mr. Chris Barron right there on the piano. Back there on the bass, on the very little bass. That's the littlest bass I've ever seen. It's Mr. Jerry Watts on the bass. It's hard not to introduce this guy this way, but I just mentioned Chuck Mangione, and Charles toured with Chuck Mangione for many years. So I knew of Charles way back then, but his dad actually played with Chuck Mangione back in the early 60s and recorded with him too. I thought that was pretty cool. It says Charles Ruggiero right here on the drums. On the percussion, Mr. Tiki Pasillas. That is Miles Jensen over there on the guitar. On saxophone, my good friend, Mr. Mark Visher. And the real reason that I put this band together is to be able to have a band with Ginger in it on cello. This is Ginger Murphy on cello. So I did get to do one album that was basically all this kind of music, and it was called Appassionato, and we're going to do the title track. And I have a bunch of these CDs, and I've decided I'm no longer going to sell CDs. So if you want one, just come see me. I'll just give them to you. So I've got a bunch. You can take them. Makes a lovely coaster set. Probably 4 of you have CD players anymore, so yeah. I don't have one in my car either. I have no way to play a CD. Yeah. So we're going to do the title track from that album, and this is called Appassionato. And by the way, I not only can't say my own last name correctly, I can't pronounce the titles for most of these tunes correctly. So I may call on Tiki occasionally to pronounce them for me. This is Appassionato.
Did I do okay? Was that all right? Yeah. I just didn't bring myself.
Gentlemen, I'd like to have Miles Jensen open up this song for you. Thank you very much. Miles Jensen over there on the guitar. We've, for those of you who saw this band before, we've only done 2 other shows, and if you were at one of those, you may notice we're repeating a lot of those tunes because that's the music I have for this band. But I thought, well, I got to add a couple of new ones. So I'm adding a couple of new songs tonight, and these are both songs. Well, this song we're going to do now is one that kind of came out during the pandemic when we were all sitting around our houses trying to stay creative. And this is a song called "In the Quiet."
You pronounced that very well.
Thank you.
Almost perfect. That was the joke of the night right there.
Thank you very much. Jerry Watts on whatever that little bass is. That looks kind of like a bass ukulele, right? Is that actually what it is? Wow. It's not kind of, it's actually a bass ukulele. Well, the only problem, and I don't know if it's a problem or not, I don't mind it, but the only problem with doing music like this is a lot of it's going to be kind of soft and slow and pretty, so we got a lot of that. So this next one is sort of soft and slow and pretty.
It's like you.
Like me. This is a song that was also from the pandemic era, and this is a song that was inspired by a quote that I read, and I'm going to read it to you just because I think it's such an interesting thought. The quote goes, oh, it's by an author I don't know much about. Her name was C. Joybell C. The letter C, Joybell C. So you can look her up. I don't know anything else about her. Maybe she hates Flugelhorn. But this quote is beautiful. It says, "The dance between darkness and light will always remain. The stars and the moon will always need the darkness to be seen. The darkness will just not be worth having without the moon and the stars." And so as I was writing this, there's a little trick in music that when you play minor chords, it sounds sad. When you play major chords, it sounds happy. And so that was kind of I used that to create a little contrast. And this is called The Dance Between.